everyone, I am Aditi, your physics teacher, and today what if I tell you that if you did these mistakes in your Viva exams that can cost you your Viva marks. I know a lot of you are going to appear in your Viva exams, and I've met students and they're like, ma'am, I've studied everything, I've completed the practical book, and I even know the experiments by heart, apparatus, aim, everything, even the chemical reactions. But Viva is something where I lag. I get so scared to go and in front of the teacher, what questions they might ask, what can they ask, if I'll be able to answer that or not, what if I know the answer but I won't be able to answer. Do you also think like that, right? I know, because I was at your same point. My legs started shivering whenever I had to go into a Viva. But here are few mistakes I want you to avoid, because I learned it from my experience. I learned it after teaching so many students, after helping so many students. I want you to see this video till the end and very carefully, very smartly avoid these mistakes. Okay, starting with first, see, Viva is just a conversation. It is not a race. Your teacher asks you to come and they are just asking you to have a conversation with them, right? Your teacher is not there to fail you. They do not want to fail you in your Viva. Take that as a big step, and now take a back seat and calmly tell yourself, it is not a race. It is not a race. It is just a conversation that I'm going to have with my teacher. So I have to be polite. I have to not make these mistakes. Now, what are those mistakes? Do not ever make these mistakes. Starting with, see, Viva is actually not about your knowledge. It is about your knowledge, how you know, what you have read all through the year. But in Viva, that is for knowledge, we have exams, right? We have exams, 80 marks exam for your knowledge. Viva is about what you say and how you say it. And most importantly, what you should never say at all. Okay, these are the things you should never do. What are the things you should do? Let's go through them. Okay, so first is never ever answer in a hurry. As soon as the teacher asks you why reflection happened like this in a glass slab, why the ray bent towards normal, and you're like, ma'am, the ray bent towards normal because it was incident and it is going from denser to rarer. No, rarer to denser. Don't do that. Okay, take a seat back. What did I tell you? Be calm, be confident. Now, be calm. Do not start speaking immediately. Okay? Then do not just blurt out anything like I showed you just now, right? Do not start blurting out any, you know the stuff. You know why the ray bent towards the normal. But you have to be confident. Take a step back and never interrupt the examiner. We'll come to that later. Now, what you have to do, ask them, sir, yeah, ma'am, can I think for a moment? Can I take a moment just to recall the stuff? They know, of course, you have studied. There are so many chapters in class 10th. You cannot remember everything on your fingertips, right? They are on your fingertips, but you cannot recall them in just 1 second or even in 10 seconds. Take a step back, tell ma'am, yeah ma'am, let me think for a moment. Okay, so for a glass lab, I know the ray is going from air to glass and the ray is bending towards the normal because it is going from rarer to denser, and that is the reason. See how you took your time, how you paced yourself, and then how you explained the answer properly in a complete sentence, in a right sentence. Okay, understood? Now, the next thing is surrender in the 5 seconds. Never just surrender in the first 5 seconds. They have asked you about anything, right? They have asked you about human heart. Any question about human heart, or they have asked you about any chemical reaction. Do not just like, oh, I don't know this. I don't know, ma'am, I don't know. Do not do that. What did I just tell you? Do not answer in a hurry and never surrender in just 5 seconds. Trust yourself. Trust yourself that I have studied the whole year, I know this. Let me just think for a moment. Ask them, let me ma'am think for a moment. Okay, never surrender. Even if you don't know, let's say you don't know, think about it for 5 seconds, for 10 seconds, and then if you don't know, let them know that ma'am, I am unable to recall about this, I'll read about it. Frame the whole sentence. Okay, frame the whole sentence. What you have to do now, start with the definition, formula and example. What are we trying to do here? We are trying to get something out of our knowledge, right? You don't know exactly the whole concept is, the whole function of human heart, but you remember little bits of it, right? You don't remember a whole chemical reaction, you don't know how to, let's say, balance the reaction, but you know what the reaction is all about, what the photosynthesis is all about, right? What the neutralization reaction is all about, but you can't seem to remember it or even recall it in 10-20 seconds. So what you have to do now, you start telling ma'am, I think I remember, I don't remember exactly the definition, exactly the reaction, but I remember this part. And even when you think out loud, it may lead you to the actual answer. Okay, so follow these things. Ki I remember this part, yes. Oh ma'am, I think it is related to this topic, and in that topic I had this formula. I remember this formula, and if resistance is directly proportional to resistivity, but material of resistivity depends on material. See, that's how you think about it. Okay, that's how you go chronologically, follow the steps. Okay, and these are the things you have to follow. Don't just say them, I forgot ma'am, I don't know ma'am. Okay, do not do that. Trust yourself. Fine. Then next, very important point, never ever argue with your teacher or over explain, right? But arguing is the finish line of your Viva. The minute you started arguing, you are lost. The minute you started arguing, you lost those marks, right? So never ever argue with your teacher. Correct the examiner aggressively, even when you do think that this examiner is wrong and I am right. First of all, have some respect for the teacher, right? They are there, they are teaching for so many years. Even if you don't think they teach well, do not show them that in your Viva. Okay, they are there for a reason. They have been chosen to be there, and they're there to take your Viva for a reason. They are your teacher, they are your guru. Respect them, right? Never ever correct them and never ever talk to them aggressively, right? And the second most important point is, do not ever give long answers. Do not over explain yourself. That if they asked about resistance, do not go about resistivity and how length and area, how that is connected to that, how that is connected to temperature. Do not jump to advanced topics until you are asked about those topics. Whatever you are asked, give a clean, crisp definition. Whatever they have asked, frame the sentence properly. Okay ma'am, you are asking about resistance, so resistance is the hindrance to the flow of current, and the formula of resistance is this. Do not go starting about it depends directly on length, inversely on area, and on for metals in temperature, for non-metals. Do not do that. Even if you know all that stuff, just give them crisp definition of what they asked. Okay, fine. Viva is not a debate. Again, Viva is a conversation. Viva is a plain conversation between your teacher and you. It is not a debate. It is not a race. Okay? So take it as a conversation. Calm yourself, pace yourself, take 10-20 seconds, form the answer, and then explain it to your teacher. And even if teacher thinks that the answer is wrong, do not correct them, do not talk with them aggressively. Always respect them. Okay? Now, next is very important point. Now you know the knowledge, you have the knowledge, and you know how to talk to them. Presentation, how you present yourself, how your body language is, that is a major point. Okay, whenever you go and you're like, ma'am, resistance is resistivity, You should not do that. Yes, ma'am. You should stand properly and you're like, yes, ma'am, resistance is a hindrance to the current. Human heart has 4 chambers, and the function of each chamber is like this, and the chemical reaction for photosynthesis is this, neutralized reaction is this. Do not slouch, okay? Don't like, ma'am, I don't remember. ऐसा नहीं करना है, okay? The second point is no eye contact. You're like, ma'am, I don't know what the answer to this. Ma'am, वो resistance, ma'am, electric power is, I don't know, ma'am. ऐसे नहीं करना. No, not at all. You should be confident and you're standing like this. And yes, ma'am, you should be looking, do not stare at them directly into your eyes, but you should be like, yes, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Resistance is this. Yes, ma'am. Photosynthesis. Yes, ma'am. Concave mirror. Yes, ma'am. I've studied about that. Let me just think for a moment. Right? That's how you should have confidence in your tone, but not overconfidence. Right? Have eye contact with them, but do not stare into their soul. Okay? And the next is very low or very loud voice. Right? You are like, ma'am is asking about you. Have you studied about concave mirror? Have you studied about glass slab? Yes, ma'am. Glass slab is when the ray bends. No, right? That doesn't look good. Even when I do it, is it looking fine? Is it looking good? No, right? It is not how you talk with your teacher. It is not how you talk with your senior. And loud voice, do not try to like speak very loudly, right? It is a conversation. Take it as a conversation. Okay, good. Now, the next part is your body speaks before your answer. Walk up to them confidently, stand like this. Do not fold your arms, do not slouch, do not shake your legs. You are like, you're panicking and you're doing like this. Panic inside your body. It should not show on your face, on your body. Okay? Right? Now, then here are some tips to remember. Here one thing you remember is examiners don't want you to fail. They never want you to fail. You are their school kids, right? So if you fail, their school name will not look good, right? So they don't want you to fail. You just have to go and present yourself calmly and nicely. Okay, and they want you to see how well you understand and behave under pressure, right? They are preparing you for future. See, you are giving 80 marks exam, so they are not testing your knowledge, but in future you will have to go into meetings, you will have to meet people, you will have to have conversations, you will have to give speeches. So they are preparing you for that. They are preparing you how you perform under pressure, right? And some tips to revise. First, revise all the practical exams that are performed. They should be on your fingertips. What is the aim, apparatus, theory, their result, their precautions, everything. Okay? Then understand the concept, just not the procedures, the diagrams, the chemical reactions, everything. You should understand them properly. Okay? And know the formulas, diagrams, reactions, unit, symbols, and precautions, and practice answering questions aloud. This is a very important point. Practice when you answer. Ask your siblings, ask your mother or your father to ask questions from you. When you talk with them, it is like having conversation. So you have already practiced your Viva in home. So when you go, your anxiety will be less, the panic will be less, and you will be more confident. Understood? And the bonus tip is to join our WhatsApp channel and subscribe Deeksha Vedantu. We are here to guide you. We are here to make you score 95 plus in your class 10th boards. So make sure you subscribe this channel. Make sure you join the WhatsApp channel. There is a link in the description. You can go click that, and all the very best for your Viva exams. Okay? Bye.